I've been getting a lot of videos in my algorithm of people that are basically saying that they can no longer work a 9 to 5. So I sorted through them. It was like four of them, and I wanted to find the shortest one of the one that we would probably not identify with the most as far as the demographic of the person. So I picked the white boy instead of the black woman or the black man and all of this stuff. And my godson, not grandson, godson. Okay. And I wanted to go through this, and so we're just gonna spend a quick 10 minutes to get to this. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. A man that says that he can no longer work a 9 to 5 job. Let's get into it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video journal. I did a video like this not too long ago. Today I had a work meeting, and it was the most, I have never felt this much dread in my life before. And I don't know, it got to a point where I was like, we were talking about how we're all excited for our vacation. That's all people talk about at work, waiting for vacation. They live to wait for vacation. I said, I only have 2 weeks of vacation, and like, it's 10 days. That's all you get. You work your whole year to give your time and your soul to someone else to help build their company, and in exchange you get 10 days. Ooh. So it's like, wow, you're the rest of the time you're just slaving away, like, for a company, and then you get 10 days. Ooh. And he said, yeah, welcome to the real world, but you're still young. You've barely started in this career. You've only been doing it for about 3-4 years now. Maybe in a few years, in 3-4 years, you'll have 3 weeks. And then, when you're like that other guy, and he pointed to a colleague, he said, you'll, after 15 years of working, you'll get 4 weeks. He's about to get 5. What? So you're telling me if I slave away and I give all my time to someone else and all the other disadvantages that come with having a 9 to 5, well, more 8s to 5 because my lunch isn't paid. You're telling me I can get 20 days? Ooh. Really? The worst part is exchanging time for money. There's commute. If you have your own company, you can deduct your commute to work, right? As an employee, you're taxed before you get the money, so you can't deduct anything. So people think like you're supposed to do this. This is because you're taught this in school. You're taught this from family, from friends. It's like you're supposed to do this. This is the only way. I said this in my other video. The only time like I'll recommend a traditional path is if you've got something that makes you happy, that you want to achieve. I know someone who wants to become a lawyer because that's what they want in life, and that's their meaning to live. Some people want to be a teacher. Some people want to be a doctor and save lives. Then do it. Do that. But I can't. Get taxed the hell out of what you make before you even make it. Whereas if you have your own company, if you're smart with that money, you can make that money grow before you pay taxes at the end of the year.
There's a lot of assumptions that we have to put into this video, but let's put it in perspective, and then we're going to watch the second half of the video because we're about halfway through it. So let's put it in perspective. What he's basically saying is this pathway that they are laying out for him, because there's different versions of a 9 to 5, right? So we're going to assume that he's in a dead-end job, but there's different versions of a 9 to 5. Tim Cook works a 9 to 5 as the CEO of Apple. You understand what I'm saying? So when you compare it, all 9 to 5s, first of all, are not created equal. Secondly, you're trading in your time for money, but you're supposed to be leveraging those resources to ultimately invest in yourself so that you are not required to do something that you don't want to do for the rest of your life. Third, you have to start somewhere in order to get the experiences, and that's supposed to motivate you to continue to invest in yourself, which allows for you to get a bigger bag and have more freedom, because then you won't be just a cog or a wheel in a cog, and you'll actually have options and choices. Fourth, a lot of people define the job as their identity because they spend so much time at it. A job is merely there for you to exchange your time for resources, and you use those resources to do whatever it is that you want to do for it. For housing, buying cars, feeding your face, protecting your family, getting healthcare, all of this stuff. A job is not supposed to be there to make you feel good about yourself. And this is the thing that I think that most people are forgetting. They're used to a time where things weren't as technologically advanced, where you would work 30 years, get a pension, retire, and then you could do whatever it is that you wanted to do for the rest of your life. The fact of the matter is A, if you don't work, you don't eat. But more importantly, to speak to his bigger point, the issue is that they keep championing entrepreneurship, which is not a bad thing. I teach people how to open up their own businesses myself. But the problem is that most businesses fail. And the reason why you go into a job most of the time is because you don't have the bandwidth, the capital, the dedication, the love for it, or the willingness to not make money in your business while you're building it. And then at the same time, understanding that you may not be profitable the minute that you open up your business. And so it takes hard work. And guess what? When you have your own business, you don't get days off. You don't get to get paid PTO, whether it's 10 days, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or 5 weeks. That is a benefit to working for a corporate structure or for somebody else that you then negotiate. But I don't get to negotiate. Guess what? Mika, I love her. God bless her. One of the best people that I've ever worked with, and is a phenomenal content creator and is continuing to get better every single day. Mika needs a vacation. And I understand that. And she's willing to make concessions. And she was like, listen, if you need me to jump on Tuesday show, I absolutely can jump on Tuesday show. I said, come on, girl, get on Tuesday show. I love you on Tuesday. And it was a phenomenal show last night. But Mika is going to take a vacation. Guess what? I got ownership issues, meaning that I have to make sure or figure out what I do around Mika, because usually she's live streaming with me on Friday and Thursday nights. But guess what? The show has to go on. Q. Sometimes she's traveling outside of the country, or sometimes her power is not working, or whatever. I don't get the luxury of being able to do that as an owner. Everything I have to do is around my schedule. When I got the phone call in order to be able to take a flight to go and get my Rolex that I picked up over in Miami, I took that flight in the afternoon. I was streaming at night, and I had to do it after the Millionaire Morning Show because we don't miss. My point is that people are glorifying entrepreneurship or starting your own company, but it's not all peaches and cream. There is going to be pros and cons to both. I know people that make $250,000 a year as software engineers, and they work from home, and they love their 9 to 5. So it just depends. The context is that your 9 to 5 is dependent on what it is that you want out of life, but also it is a means to an end, and it's an opportunity for you to make money and resources. And so you may want to invest in yourself. So either A, you can get a better 9 to 5, or B, you can then use those resources in order to put it in other assets so that you can work for yourself. But you still gonna have the work ethic, and it's much harder. 10 times harder to work for yourself than it is to actually go into work and do it for that and do it for somebody else. That's just the honest to God truth. Let's continue to hear what he got to say.
So you win. Plus, money's worth less as time goes on. So that tax amount you need to pay, it's worth less later. So it's better to pay it later than immediately. When you get taxed before your salary, that's when you lose the most. And then you're left with nothing. Because the moment you quit your job, like I quit tomorrow, there's nothing left.
Congratulations.
You haven't built up something for yourself that you keep.
Somebody said that's a little disingenuous to call Tim Cook's job a 9 to 5. Guess what? Tim Cook actually worked himself up through the ranks. So he worked as a 9 to 5 employee until he got to the point where he was actually the Apple CEO. And he does work a 9 to 5. And so I think that y'all also forget how he started. Y'all forget the work that he put in prior to. You forget all of the slave. Like, he didn't wake up as a CEO. And a lot of people want to complain, and they want to compare their lives and just go straight to the end goal. And that's not how it works. And I get it. I'm not dissing him. I'm not saying that he's wrong for saying that he can no longer work a 9 to 5. There are some people that's just not, they don't want to do that. They can't do it. It's something that's gnawed them, and some people that are a little bit more special, you know what I'm saying? Or they may have this inkling to just be a serial entrepreneur, or to go into it, or to dive into something in particular. And I commend them for that. If you can quit your job and figure it out for yourself and do it, that's dope. But what I'm saying is that there's pros and cons to both, right? And I think that everybody look at this title, or they look at these videos and they take it as a blanket statement without getting the context behind how you go about doing things, and how you can be successful, and how you grow, and how you can get to the point to where you no longer can have a 9 to 5, but at the same time, what are the pros and cons of not having a 9 to 5?
For yourself, you work all this time, you leave, and that's it. They're thankful you did it for them, but you're left with nothing. They're not going to be like, hey, for all the hard work you did, you know, we're going to pay you a monthly salary of like 10% of what you earned total just to like keep you going. No, it's over. My colleague, when I told him I was really depressed.
TM 1776 says, men specifically, we make the most income in our lives from mid to late 30s to our early to, no, you don't. That's a lie. That's not true. Your highest earning years is in your late 50s to early 60s as a man. That is statistically a fact. Men, you make the majority of your money, your highest earning years is in your late 50s, early 60s. It is not in your 30s and the 40s. It is not in your 30s and 40s. It is in your late 50s to early 60s. That is where you make the bulk, the biggest amount in your earnings for majority of men in your life.
He says, yeah, well, you don't think about it because then you'll want to die. But you get older and you learn to suppress the feeling. So is that life? Is that what life's supposed to be? Learn to suppress the feeling of wanting to die? That's not nice. I'm happy. I'm not a sad person. I have big ambitions, big dreams. Working for someone else and thinking it's the only way is wrong.
I agree with you, TM 1766. He hasn't been along a lot.
I can't do it. I know a lot of people in the comments will be like, well, then prove it. Or, yeah, well, you just need to accept it. I think that's just the consensus. People say, you just need to accept it. That's what my colleagues were saying. You just need to accept that's normal life. Because that's what they've been told. I'm sorry, maybe I dream in color, but I'd much rather do that than black and white, you know?
Let me get a content creator some love. I always like to shout out to content creators and give them visibility regardless of whether I agree with them or not. I partially agree with him, but I partially disagree with him. His name is Sean Disselets. Sean Disselets, I believe. 12,000 subscribers as of the recording of this video. Make sure y'all go and check him out. And if you like his content, go and subscribe to his content.
I don't care about money. I want time. 10 hours every day is gone. No, it's never been about the money. I don't care about money. Cut my salary in half. I don't care. I want control over time. I'm at the office and there's no work left to do, and it's 3 p.m. and you do this, waiting for 5 p.m.
Sound like you want to be a drug dealer then.
And you feel your soul slipping away, like just wasting away. School teaches you that failure is a bad thing. The moment you go to school, you're told an F, you fail, it's bad. Failure is thought like you fail once, it's over. You have to restart. It's done. That's not true. Failure is a part of life. It's important. Now, how do you learn to skate? You fall. How do you learn to ski? You fall.
All right, I got you. All right, so go ahead and check him out. I think that to have a desire for more is healthy. How you get there is determined by you. So that's the lesson that we take from that. But I've been getting a lot of people, maybe it's a trust fund baby, I don't know. I've been getting a lot of people that is basically saying, I'd rather die than work a 9 to 5. I want to quit my job and all of that. Okay, I think it's context to that. So we'll be reviewing some more of these videos throughout the week.